are also very, very important. Thank you. Hare Krishna. So, a warm welcome to all the devotees for joining in today's session. Today's session is entitled My Spiritual Master Has Not Finished His Work. Very interesting title. So, we will see what happens here. And in the meantime, we had one slide left from last week. So, I will try to complete that and then proceed for today's session. Now we know Srila Prabhupada is in San Francisco and he has opened, in one sense, the first temple and in another sense, second temple. If you consider 26 Second Avenue, where no deities have been yet installed, but still Prabhupada was there. So if we consider it as temple number 1, then San Francisco will become temple number 2, where we have got now Jagannath, Baladev, Subhadra, looking at all the devotees from a nice stage and very nice canopy and everything. Very beautiful temple has come up there. And that's where Srila Prabhupada is. And except a few devotees have gone there from New York, all are new, like Mukunda Maharaj, Mukunda at that time Brahmachari, and not Brahmachari, Mukunda Adhikari, he was married with Janaki. These are two people that Prabhupada knows, and maybe a couple of them others, and all others are completely new. And many of them joined Prabhupada as couples. Either they were live-in couples in the past, but Prabhupada got them married and brought them into proper Grihastha life. So Srila Prabhupada was alternatively doing initiation and marriage. Initiation, marriage, which a sannyasi is not supposed to do, perform marriages. But here Srila Prabhupada, everything in Krishna consciousness. You are trying to bring everybody into Krishna consciousness and you are trying to give them a peaceful life so that they can practice Krishna consciousness nicely. And peaceful life is either you are a brahmachari or you are a grihastha, properly married to one wife, one husband, and you live together peacefully and pursue Krishna consciousness together. So Prabhupada is only doing that. He is helping all his followers to practice Krishna consciousness without any disturbance. That is what Prabhupada is doing. So one day, the disciples and the followers of Prabhupada invited Prabhupada, let us go to the beach and we'll have a night kirtan. So Prabhupada immediately agreed, yes, because they are saying kirtan. Prabhupada immediately goes and they all go to the beach and they have a bonfire. And in the bonfire, they are baking potatoes and so many other things. And they are sharing, enjoying, and simultaneously kirtan is going on. They are feeling so much intimacy. What you have to observe is the kind of intimacy that Prabhupada is consciously building with all his followers. The intimacy we want with Krishna, that we build it through our spiritual master. Like the deity in the altar is the Lord, the representation of Lord. You do whatever you want to do to Krishna, you do to the deity. You can massage him, you can bathe him, you can dress him up, you can wear nice ornaments for him, you can cook nice prasadam for him, you can nicely put him to sleep in the night, and you can massage his lotus feet, you can sing nice songs for him, you can perform nice arati for him with the most exquisite articles. You can even have a golden arati plate. You can have fresh cow's ghee for the lamps and excellent rose waters perfumed with aguru and everything for achaman. And so nicely you can perform arti. What you want to do for Krishna, that you can do for the deity. Now, spiritual master is another living, moving, talking, laughing, glancing, Supreme Lord with you. So, if you think Guru as a human being, it's an offense. Guru is directly Hari. He is directly the representative of the Lord. So, Prabhupada is consciously building the intimacy of the devotees with him. And Prabhupada is very happy. Sometimes later on, Prabhupada, when he is in the midst of his God brothers, he would tell them, see how much they love me. This will come much later. But we will know this is Prabhupada wants. It is his love. It is his compassion that he wants the followers to become intimate with him. With the Vapu and the Vani, you have to become intimate. So much so that your consciousness will be totally pervaded, occupied, taken over by the spiritual master's instructions. That is the purpose. Anyway, so with this preamble, let us see what happens. Night Kirtan, there is a carpet is spread. Prabhupada is sitting there. All the disciples are sitting very closely. Satsvarup Maharaj, the author of this book, he writes, he is sitting few inches away from Srila Prabhupada. And they are all having nice kirtan. Prabhupada is singing, others are responding. It's going on for hours. And then Satsvarup Maharaj writes, the Swami, so now his name has not yet become Prabhupada. So please forgive me for using this. They have not yet started calling him Srila Prabhupada. They only know him as Swamiji. So the Swamiji was doing what his disciples wanted him to do. That is, they call him to come out for the night. He comes out and he sits with them. All that. And what does he want from them? They are doing. What is that? He wants them to chant Hare Krishna and be happy. That is all the Guru wants from disciple. Please chant Hare Krishna and be happy. And they are doing that. So here is this perfect reciprocation between Guru and Chelas. The disciples want that Guru should come out with them, Guru should spend intimate moments with them, and the Guru wants that they should chant and become happy. So exactly that is happening perfectly by the plan of Srila Prabhupada and his Guru and the Parampara. Nicely everything is happening. Another incident is narrated. This also happened in San Francisco. Srila Prabhupada once called Hayagriva. You know, Hayagriva is his English editor. Whatever Prabhupada is writing, he will check it, he will type it also, and he will see grammar corrections, spelling corrections, everything he will do. So one day Srila Prabhupada said, we have to now prepare a drama plot and we will perform it. Now, do you remember that Prabhupada has performed a drama before? Anyone recollects this? We have seen it in the early classes. Anyone recollects?
Yes, Prabhuji, but you had shared it, Prabhuji, but we are not able, I'm not able to recollect it.
You don't recollect? Anyone recollects? Okay.
No, Prabhuji.
Okay. Srila Prabhupada, when he was in college, one very famous drama director, he started practicing with them for one drama. The drama was about Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. I don't know what part of the story of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So they were rehearsing and rehearsing and rehearsing. And this director told, one condition only I am working with you. He told the college management. That is, you will not put up the drama to public until I say okay. Until I say okay. It should not go on stage. So it was agreed. So much rehearsals. And finally, when it went on stage, Srila Prabhupada, again, anyone recollects what role Prabhupada played in the drama? No? No recollections? Prabhupada was playing the role of
Chaitanya Mahaprabhu.
Advaita Acharya. That was his role, Advaita Acharya. And Prabhupada says, when I was acting on the stage, I could see tears flowing freely from the eyes of the audience. They were completely absorbed with the drama. And Prabhupada sensed it. Then Prabhupada realized how much commitment should go into preparing such dramas for the public. Whatever we do for the public, there must be so much commitment from our part so that it will make an impact. So Prabhupada was narrating a drama plot to Hayagriva. And Prabhupada was talking about scene number 1. Kali is there. And because of Kali, there is drinking going on one side, there is illicit sex going on another side, there is gambling on another side, meeting on another side, and Kali is in the center enjoying everything. And suddenly one Sankirtan party is going. And Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, Nityananda Prabhu, they are leading the party, and Panchatattva, and behind that, all the people are following. Everybody is chanting, dancing, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. This is going on, and Kali is becoming scared because everybody is joining the Sankirtan movement. Kali is scared. What should we do? Like that, drama plot, Prabhupada is developing nicely. And in the process, Hayagriva is hearing new names because Chaitanya Charitamrita, you remember, in New York, Prabhupada just started telling. He has not yet started telling in great detail. So Hayagriva Prabhu is asking doubts here and there, here and there. And Hayagriva Prabhu is also worried, oh, we have to stage it on the drama. So he wants some details also from Prabhupada. But then, after some time, he realizes Prabhupada is not in this world. Prabhupada is seeing and he's narrating. So Hayagriva stops asking questions. And in Hayagriva's mind, he's thinking, maybe this drama will never go on stage, but here is an opportunity for me to hear these things directly from my spiritual master. So he's completely focused on what Prabhupada is saying, and the drama, he slowly, Prabhupada is expanding on that. And then Prabhupada started talking about Haridas Thakur's pastime. Haridas Thakur. So different scenes. Almost the first Adi Leela pastimes of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, Srila Prabhupada was narrating, and Hayagriva heard in great detail from Srila Prabhupada. And at one stage, Prabhupada is explaining how Haridas Thakur, when his last days came, he told Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, I don't want to live when you leave this world. I understand that you are going to leave the world shortly, and I don't want to be there to see. So I want to die now, and I want your permission. And I want you to stand in front of me. I want to take your darshan, and I want to say Sri Krishna Chaitanya and then leave my body. This is the prayer that Haridas Thakur makes to Mahaprabhu. And Mahaprabhu, within few days, he arranges that to happen. Mahaprabhu comes to Haridas Thakur's place, he stands in front of him, and Haridas Thakur fixes his eyes on the beautiful lotus face, on the beautiful lotus eyes of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. And then, chanting Sri Krishna Chaitanya, his life leaves the body. And immediately Chaitanya Mahaprabhu takes his body and starts dancing. So this, with so much feeling, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is telling, and Hayagriva Prabhu interrupts with some question. Then Prabhupada, he can see how much Prabhupada is appreciating this scene, because Haridas Thakur is from an untouchable family. He is less than a Shudra. And here is Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he's from a high-class Brahmana family. But how there is so much of understanding and love between them, so much so Mahaprabhu is picking up the body and dancing with the dead body for hours. So Prabhupada is explaining this, and his eyes are closed, and Hayagriva observes tears are flowing freely from the eyes of Srila Prabhupada. He is in complete ecstasy of this exchange of bhakti, prema between the disciple and the Supreme Lord. So Hayagriva felt very much blessed to have this experience. Then another time, Prabhupada was invited to Stanford University, and he performed a kirtan there. So initially there were 20 people only in that hall. Stanford University is such a prestigious place. 20 boys were there in a huge auditorium, and then kirtan started, and the boys and girls, they joined in. Very quickly, they became absorbed in the kirtan, and everybody was standing up and dancing in ecstasy, jumping high, shouting the holy names in a high voice, and they were totally absorbed. Then very soon, the hall became packed with more than 200 students, all of them chanting and crying ecstatically and chanting the holy name. Prabhupada is surprised, because these are not devotees. These are completely materialistic people, but they are exactly acting like pure devotees just by chanting the holy name of Hare Krishna. So Prabhupada again got a confirmation about the power of the holy name, how it can transform the age of Kali. The most fallen souls also, the holy name can completely transform. So Srila Prabhupada had this experience. And when the devotees were leaving the hall, they were observing how the audience were talking among themselves. They are saying, oh, it was so ecstatic. It was so amazing. And many of them were still crying. And many of them were still chanting the holy name as they walk out of this place. This Stanford University is a school of high learning for materialistic sciences. And this is the same place where holy name is taking complete control of the audience. The disciples of Prabhupada also were very surprised and heartened to see the transformation that is happening to people. Another day, Prabhupada is invited to YMCA, and the disciples of Prabhupada told Prabhupada, the audience is mostly children in the age group of 5 to 12, like that. So Prabhupada, make your lecture simple. So Prabhupada said, okay. So then Prabhupada, after his small lecture, he called, who is the most intelligent student here? So after some hesitation, one boy came forward, and Prabhupada asked him the question. Touching his hand, Prabhupada said, what is this? This boy was very surprised. He called for the most intelligent student. And what kind of questions he is asking, he's confused. But then he says, my hand. Then Prabhupada touches his leg and says, what is this? My leg. Then, what is this? My head, my eyes, my ears, my trunk. I like that. Then Prabhupada said, you said my head, my trunk, my hands, my legs. So this is all my. Who are you? Prabhupada asked this question. The boy could not explain. He just stood there. Who are you? You are told these are my things. So who are you? And finally, Prabhupada explained to all the audience, please understand, this is the body, this belongs to you. And you are residing inside this body. You can't see. The soul is invisible. You are that invisible soul which is residing in this body. You are acting through this body, speaking, experiencing, feeling, everything you are doing through this body. But you are not the body. One day you will leave this body and occupy another body. This is the fundamental knowledge of spiritual science. With this, you can move forward. You have to identify clearly this is my body, but I am something else. I am the soul which is inside this. And you have to focus on yourself, which is the soul. As long as you identify the body as yourself, you are on the wrong track and you can never get the happiness that you want. Only when the soul is happy and pleased and contented, that is the true happiness you can experience. Like that, Prabhupada gave a very simple class there. Next, there was an invitation for a psychedelic shop. Please see where all Prabhupada is going. Psychedelic shop means this is a shop where hippies will come together. They will smoke, they will drink, and they will do all nonsense, free sex, everything will go on in this place. And here they are having a election meeting where they want to nominate somebody from their side. And so all this is going on. So disciples are telling, please, Prabhupada, don't go. But Prabhupada, finally, he did go, saying, wherever I have a chance to speak for Krishna and to speak against drugs, I will speak against LSD. I will tell them LSD will never take you towards spiritual consciousness. Rather, it is an obstacle. So I will go. So Prabhupada went there also. And there are people who are in great intoxication and, all kinds of bad consciousness. But there also Prabhupada spoke strongly in favor of Krishna consciousness. But they also responded to the holy name. There was a kirtan and there was a short lecture and there was a good response. And some of them started coming to the temple subsequently. Then Prabhupada was invited to a nudist camp. A nudist camp means it's a ranch called Morning Star Ranch, maybe 10,000 acres of huge farmland with some forests, some farms, some rivers, some ponds, like that, and some buildings. Here, the members of the nudist club, they go. They go with family. Sometimes they go as individuals, sometimes, but they live there. They live there. So Prabhupada is invited. So the disciples were telling, how can our guru go there? But Prabhupada said, all right, they are also human beings, I will go. So the experiences of this nudist club, we find in some other books written by Prabhupada's other disciples who were originally members of the nudist club or they accompanied him. So that is written. But here, briefly, it is explained. As Prabhupada was walking through that nudist club, someone came up to Prabhupada with a small farming tool in his hand. Prabhupada said, what are you doing? He said, I am planting potatoes. Prabhupada said, that's not what I asked. I am asking you, what are you doing with your life? That man, it was like a hammer blow, and he did not know what to respond to Srila Prabhupada. So Prabhupada went inside. There was all the members were called for a meeting. Prabhupada spoke very passionately to take up Krishna consciousness. He told everybody, please take up to the chanting of the holy name. Please don't give it up. Please continue to chant as many times as possible. Throughout the day, you continue to chant. Like the Prabhupada gave a very impassioned appeal to them to chant the holy names. And then the class was over and Prabhupada was leaving. Even as Prabhupada was leaving, one of the nudists, he put on his suit, pant, shirt, everything, and he said, I am leaving the camp. I am going with Prabhupada. He went to the temple. And then it so happened, many of the people, they started regularly chanting, though they were living in the nudist camp. They started regularly chanting. And eventually, many of them became disciples of Srila Prabhupada, devotees of ISKCON, and they left the camp. So this is the power of a pure devotee to give Krishna consciousness to anyone. They don't see anyone as not a fitting candidate because there is a soul within every body and the soul is pure. The soul is a spark of the divine. So Prabhupada always sees that. Samas Sarveshu Bhūti. He sees all of them. Vidyavane Sampanne Brahmane Gavihastini Sunichane Swapagyacha Pandita Samadarshina. How is Pandita Samadarshina? He sees the spirit soul in everyone. So that's how Prabhupada is giving mercy. So now only 2.5 months have passed after coming to San Francisco. But Prabhupada is leaving now back to New York. Why? Because the New York devotees are missing him. You know, continuously in these 2.5 months, letters are going to and fro, phone calls are going. The devotees are expressing that we are continuing, Prabhupada, we are maintaining whatever you have told us. The temple continues as before, but we are missing you, we want you. And also you remember Mr. Price episode where a lot of money was lost, temple's money. 6,000 like dollars were lost. So they were also feeling very heartbroken. So they wanted Prabhupada back. So Prabhupada is leaving. So here is the most important point. Only 2.5 months, there are some 30, 40 devotees here, disciples, initiated disciples. If they followed his instructions, they would remain strong. So Prabhupada is thinking like this and leaving. What he's thinking? I am leaving them. They are raw, they are new, they are neophyte, they are only 2.5 months into the movement, or they are known to me only for 2.5 months. But if they follow the instructions what I have given in my lectures, in my morning walks, in my room discussions, in my books, whatever instructions I have given, if they followed, they will remain strong, means strong in Krishna consciousness. They will not fall down. Please remember, Prabhupada always told this is a war on Maya. And if you are remaining fixed on the instructions of Guru Maharaj, then you are safe. Or any day we will become a victim of Maya. One side is Maya, other side is we are the soldiers of Prabhupada. But if we become inattentive, if we become careless, then anytime we may fall down. It's not that there is a guarantee that yes, I will see through that you will go back. No. From our side, eternal vigilance is the price that we have to pay. We have to be always careful. Avoid Maya. Always turn towards Krishna. Always turn towards devotees. Always turn towards Prabhupada's lectures, classes, books, and other things. Keep away from Maya. However, from whichever quarters the attack of Maya will come, we don't know. It can come from our own family members. It can come from our neighbors. It may come from our place of work. It may come from our friends. It may come from anything, from TV, internet, newspapers, magazines. We have to be very vigilant. This is the message here. So Prabhupada is leaving to the airport and crying devotees in bus loads, they are following him. So many devotees are there already. Prabhupada is visiting San Francisco for the first time. All of them are seeing Prabhupada for the first time. Already bus loads of devotees have been made. That is the impact Prabhupada is having on this hippie complex. You remember the Haight-Ashbury in San Francisco was a place of highest concentration of hippies in the USA at the time. And this is where Prabhupada is making such a huge impact. So now Prabhupada is back in New York, and there was a huge reception in the airport. All the devotees are so happy to have Prabhupada among them, and Prabhupada accepts the reception at the airport. Then he comes to the temple, and Prabhupada praises all the devotees that you have maintained your Krishna consciousness strongly. You have done everything nicely like that, even though Prabhupada had a plan which they have not executed. What was that plan? Prabhupada wanted to buy a building and convert into a temple at a cost of $1 lakh. Prabhupada identified the building. The devotees are in negotiation. Devotees cautioned them, talk directly to the owner of the building. Why you are talking to brokers? But they are saying, this is the way it is done, Prabhupada, Brahmananda. He's thinking, Prabhupada, after all, he's from India. He may not know, but we have to do this service to Prabhupada. We are Americans. We should get this building and offer it to Prabhupada as our offering. He's thinking like that. So they are telling that Prabhupada, allow us to handle this. This is the way Americans do it. But Prabhupada insisted, talk to the owner. But see, unfortunately, Mr. Price was a broker. They are talking to him. Subsequently, Mr. Price brought in another person called Mr. Hall as a financier, and another 5,000. So totally something like $5,000 to $6,000 was lost. And they became sorry that we have lost Prabhupada's money, and they They're very, very sorry for what they have done. So now Prabhupada did not mention it at all, but he only praised them for the good work that they are doing. But Prabhupada also observed one very important thing. What is that? Even though Prabhupada was absent among them for 3 months, they were following his instructions. As a result of that, they had made advancement in Krishna consciousness. Again, this is a message for us. This is a movement where the Guru is present 24 hours in the form of his instructions. We must take Diksha, we must accept a Guru to get into the parampara, but the Guru's presence is there in the form of instructions all the time. So our own progress depends on how nicely we follow instructions. It is not that wherever Guru goes, you follow him. Not necessary. Even Prabhupada also has told, during the last days, he wrote to his Guru that I am not able to personally serve you. Guru simply wrote back saying, I want you to go to the Western world and preach in English and print books. So this is what. And Prabhupada explained to them, if you may not be an expert, but if you are working under an expert, you are also an expert. Meaning you are executing the instructions of the expert strictly, then you are also an expert. Like he gives an example of an engineer. He has unskilled apprentice with him. But when the unskilled apprentice is simply tightening a screw in a machine, he is acting as an expert because he is working under the direct vision of the engineer. What the engineer is telling, he is doing. So there is no difference between him and the expert. So beautifully Prabhupada is giving this example. So the devotees in New York, they were concerned about how we will become expert in the absence of Srila Prabhupada. Is it not important that we should develop in Krishna Prema? Excuse me, just one moment. Hare Krishna Mataji, I'm in a class. I will call you back around 12. Yeah. Mataji, I'm in a class, so I'll become free after 12. Yeah. Thank you. So Prabhupada is telling, whether you have become expert in Krishna Prema, don't worry about that. Whether I am making progress, don't worry about that. You are working under me. I am a pure devotee. So you are accepted as pure devotees, right? Working under an expert, you are treated. So these are all answers to many of the questions that you may be having also. Many of us may have these questions. And here is the answers Prabhupada is giving. The interactions between Prabhupada and his disciples, many answers are coming to us that we have to strictly follow the spiritual master in our day-to-day life, in our practices, both in philosophy and practical. Then we are also an expert only. We don't have to worry how much progress I have made. Okay, now something important is coming. Prabhupada, even in the jet flight, 6-hour flight from San Francisco, Prabhupada is saying, my ears are blocking. I am feeling some pain. And he came to New York, and New York, no rest. From the airport onwards, there is continuous meetings, etc. Then there was a festive reception. Then Prabhupada came, 3 hours of strong lecturing. And then there was Kirtan with Mridanga and all in the Second Avenue Temple. So Prabhupada was going strong. And as far as the New York disciples were concerned, they were dazzled by him. Their Guru was so lovable. They loved him so much. His presence, his glance, his speech, whatever he spoke to them, it increased their Krishna consciousness. So they are just enjoying this mood. Our Guru is back. All along it was separation. Now there is union. And they are enjoying the presence of the Guru. And as far as his old age was concerned, it was just another transcendental feature. Our Guru, he's all powerful, he's strong, he's a representative of Krishna, he's transcendental. So his old age, that is part of his transcendental feature. Nothing will happen to him. He will carry on like this because they have been seeing him ever since. That Prabhupada is very, very active. Either there was no warning of Prabhupada's deteriorating health condition, or no one heeded them. Once or twice, Kirtananda noticed, and he asked Prabhupada to slow down, but Prabhupada discarded. So after that, he also did not say anything, and everybody thought Guru is very strong, physically also. But so there were some hints, but no one heeded them. Prabhupada was their strength. See this. Prabhupada was their strength. They never thought to consider his strength, right? Their strength was Prabhupada. He's their strength. What is his strength? Nobody bothered. So in the meantime, Prabhupada's extending himself, stretching himself so much that the body has to collapse at some point of time. Almost no sleep. When everybody is sleeping, Prabhupada is up in his room and working. And throughout the day, he's busy talking to people, debating, contesting, winning arguments, giving kirtans, giving clarifications continuously. So, so nobody suspected. See, Prabhupada looks very strong in these pictures. This is San Francisco. Who will suspect? He's standing up and doing kirtan. He's sitting down and playing mridanga. Hours together in a loud voice, he's reading kirtan. So nobody suspected. In the next day, Prabhupada had just come to New York. Next day, morning kirtan. Prabhupada noticed the weakness of his disciples. When Prabhupada chanted the kirtan and they were responding, Prabhupada saw the weakness in their voice. He felt they are still very dependent on me, and he became very compassionate. Srila Prabhupada spoke from Chaitanya Charitamrita. He spoke to them. Krishna is Supreme Lord. He is Supreme Absolute. He doesn't fall down into Maya, but we are minute particles. And we have a tendency to fall down into the Maya. But as long as we strongly hold on to spiritual master and to Krishna, we will be protected. We will cross over the Maya very easily. Prabhupada gave them encouragement like that. Then there were question and answers. After a long time, directly with Prabhupada, someone asked a question, why one soul comes to Krishna and one soul doesn't? Prabhupada answered, why is someone sitting in Bauri and someone is here in my class? Yes, Bauri means drinking, illicit sex and all that. And why someone has come here? Then Prabhupada explained, it is all because of desire. It is all because of desire. Each soul has its independence. And what the soul wants to do with its independence is his choice. So someone wants to become Krishna conscious, he becomes Krishna conscious. Someone wants to enjoy material sense gratification, and he is in the Bauri. So ultimately, you see, while we give credit to the spiritual master, to the Guru Parampara, to Krishna and everything, but you see the role, we have an important role to play as a soul. We have to become attracted by Krishna. We should want to become Krishna conscious. We should want to be in the association of devotees. These are all our choices. I want to be in Kirtan. I want to read Prabhupada's books. I want to hear lectures. I want to serve devotees. These must be our desires. Then we make progress. Otherwise, we can also be someone in the Bauri, drinking and gambling and things like that. Everyone around Prabhupada is having questions. Some questions are practical questions, what to cook, how to cook, when to get up, like that. And others are philosophic, like these questions, why are we here, why we are suffering, that kind of questions. And Prabhupada is guiding everyone. The cook has his questions. Cook is Achyutananda, that young boy who was Chug earlier. He is the cook. Prabhupada is guiding him and supporting him, encouraging him. And the editor is, who is this editor? Bhakti, Back to Godhead editor. Prabhupada restarted that. He's asking how it is going and he's giving good reports. We are distributing many copies, Prabhupada, and he's asking some questions and doubts. He's answering. Then the painter, Jadurani, she's asking some questions. Prabhupada is answering them. One question she asked was, the Paramatma in the heart, is he sitting or standing or lying down? This is the question. Prabhupada said, oh, to know this, you have to meditate for thousands of years. And Jadurani was, confused, know what to do. She has to paint. Then Prabhupada said simply, he is standing. And she went back happily back to her painting job. What you will know after thousands of years of meditation, because spiritual master is right in front of you, then and there you have the answer. Thousands of years of meditation is saved, is it not? And then the treasurer, who is treasurer? He is Brahmananda's younger brother, Gargamuni. So he is giving reports of how he is managing the treasury. So Prabhupada is answering him. And then the landlord comes. He is having some complaints about the devotees. Prabhupada is hearing him also. Like that, continuously, talking, clarifying, giving guidance, giving encouragement. That's going on. One new devotee joins. Who is he? He is a drug addict. He had a breakdown and he was admitted in the psychiatric hospital. And then the parents have brought him here. The mother is convinced that Prabhupada is genuine, but the father is not so much convinced. But so there is a discussion between father and Prabhupada. The father is saying, I want my son to become a useful member of the society. Right now, his son has become a drug addict. The father is saying, I want my son to become a responsible member of the society. I want to become a doctor and to serve the people. Prabhupada simply answered, are there not so many doctors? What is the use? Is the society not suffering? So leave him with me. I will make him Krishna conscious. And he will be able to help many people. So that discussion ended, and Michael Bloomer stayed in the temple. Then Prabhupada's visa problems. Prabhupada is trying to get his visa extended. That is not coming. So they are discussing what the advocate is doing. That is a discussion happening with Brahmananda. And Bhagavad Gita printing, you remember Prabhupada has already written twice Bhagavad Gita. First time was lost, that happened in Calcutta. Second time, the manuscripts are all with Brahmananda. He is now taking it to various printers, trying to get it printed. So Prabhupada is asking, what is the progress report? When it is going to get printed? That is going on. Then price episode. You remember price episode again and again, I am telling. So finally, prices run away with money. So Prabhupada says, tell him His Excellency has come and he will not leave you. He will take you to the court. Like that, Prabhupada wrote some letters, sent some personal messages. Ultimately, Prabhupada got back the money. Prabhupada engaged one advocate also. The advocate had to be paid $1,000, but Prabhupada personally fought the case with the parties. He said, I will take the advocates to court. I will take the owner to court. I will take the broker to court. I will take the financier to court. Ultimately, the money came back. Almost all of it came. Of course, the lawyer fees, like that, it was lost. So Prabhupada said, we are dealing with a tiger. Scratches are inevitable. So we lost some money, but we got back. Now, I want to tell you one thing. This is one small example of how Prabhupada dealt with cheaters. Number one, Prabhupada is always vigilant, always careful for Krishna's money. But when somebody tries to cheat, Prabhupada will, like a tiger, he will protect Krishna's properties. So this is one small episode here. There is another big episode we will see. Now it is 67, right? In 77, we will see what is happening there. Anyone knows this case? What I am referring to? Any of you? Prabhupada fighting with a big time fraudster?
Mr. Nair?
Yeah, yes. So that we will hear. That property Prabhupada will acquire in 1971, and there will be a continuous struggle. Very, very interesting. One whole book is written about that. That book's title is I Will Build You a Temple. And the book is written by one of the disciples of Srila Prabhupada by name Giriraj Swami. Right? I have that book also. Hopefully someday I will give you classes on that book also. I will just show you that book. Are you able to see? Can
Yes,
you?
Prabhu.
Yes, Prabhuji.
So this is the book. I Will Build You a Temple, the Juhu story. The Juhu story written by Giriraj Swami. Yeah. So Prabhupada was a devotee, is a sadhu, but don't think sadhu means he will not be able to do anything. Prabhupada was a tiger or a lion when it came to protecting Krishna's property or devotees, right? So here is one such story. Okay, then symptoms now start appearing. Alan Burke, one TV show Prabhupada attended, TV show. Prabhupada went to the studio and he was interviewed by Alan Burke. Now also we have now so many talk shows, no? Like that, the talk show. And Prabhupada went. This Alan Burke was very famous because anyone he interviews, he will make them very uncomfortable. He will provoke them. He will make them say something. And with that, he will catch them and he will make a very funful show for the audience. While, he will make his interview guest very uncomfortable, but he will make his audience very happy to watch. So Prabhupada went there. First thing Alan Burke said, Swamiji, do you mind if I smoke my cigar? Very kindly, Prabhupada said, go ahead. So he was smoking a cigar in front of Srila Prabhupada and asking questions. And some of the questions he asked, one was, why you are against sex? Prabhupada said, I'm not against sex. Then what is your take on marriages? Then Prabhupada says, look, if man and woman are all the time looking for partners for engaging in sex, their life will become very disturbed. Human life is meant for something very high. They have to develop Krishna consciousness. They have to gain our eternal life. So I am only saying it is a fact that human man-woman attraction is a reality, and I want them to get married. So man and woman living in a marriage, loyally to each other, they can have a peaceful life to pursue Krishna consciousness. Like that Prabhupada answered. And a few more questions he asked, and Prabhupada answered them very nicely. And for the first time, Alan Burke certified Prabhupada as a very nice, pleasant gentleman. The interview went very smoothly. There was no tamasha and all that. But Prabhupada, when he came out, Prabhupada complained the TV lights were hurting him. He was getting a headache by seeing the bright lights. And this was one of the symptoms. On the way back, Prabhupada was telling. And another symptom was when Prabhupada was giving class in the temple, devotee sitting by his side noticed that his hand is shaking while giving lecture. And then Prabhupada complained that his heart is skipping beats and there is some murmur in the heart, Prabhupada is telling. And Prabhupada also told his disciples, if I become badly sick, don't ever call a doctor. Don't ever call a doctor. Give me my beads and chant Hare Krishna. Just recollect this. Just hold it in your heart. Srila Prabhupada says, if I become badly sick, don't ever call a doctor. Give me my beads and chant Hare Krishna. This is what Prabhupada told you. So Prabhupada is very focused that when I die, I want to die chanting Hare Krishna. I don't want to see a doctor. I just want to go. Surrounded by devotees chanting Hare Krishna. And again, but Prabhupada is continuing his hectic schedule and no one has the courage to restrain Srila Prabhupada. They know he doesn't like Kirtananda Prabhu once or twice tried to control him, but it did not work. So nobody wants to restrain Srila Prabhupada. Look at this picture of Prabhupada. The height of health. Now, this is also a picture from San Francisco. Who will suspect? So one young devotee of Prabhupada told Prabhupada, you are so virile. You are so strong. When I see your smile, I remember a bull, pit bull, a very strong bull. Or I think of iron nails. You look so strong. So they were always thinking, oh, he's a spiritual master. He's from transcendental world. He will never become sick or weak, like that. And he appeared so strong, vibrant. His smile was so virile. And his eyes were always shining with spiritual emotions. His complexion was golden and smooth. They were observing Prabhupada. Prabhupada, most of the time, he will not be wearing his upper cloth, at least in the early part of his stay in New York. He'll be just having his upper cloth, means he was not wearing a kurta. And they could see his body. It was golden, smooth. And when he plays mridanga vigorously, he can play for hours. And he can give strong lecturing for hours. He will not become tired. Lecture. And after the lecture, question answers. Like a lion, he would defend Krishna. He would defend personalism. He would fight against impersonalism like a lion. And he would take cold showers, no warm water, cold water in New York. And early morning walks, Prabhupada would go briskly. His 20-year-olds will find it difficult to catch up with him. In a moment, if Prabhupada would have gone far ahead, and they'd be running to catch up. This was the strength of Prabhupada. And when he eats, he would eat well. Good amount of chapatis, puris, rice, sabjis, quietly, and a glass of milk. So no one suspected that Prabhupada could become ill. But at the same time, Prabhupada was stretching himself a lot. There was one controversial fundraising, and there also Prabhupada went to speak. Someone said, your visa may not come because this is something to do with the presidential elections. But Prabhupada said, in the service of Krishna, I will go. So that happened. But by the time, it was the last week of May. Prabhupada came to New York sometime in the early part of May. Now it is the last week of May. Prabhupada is completely exhausted. He is having palpitations in the heart and it is getting constantly worse. And he also complains, sometimes my left arm is not working properly, not able to move. It's not working independently like the Prabhupada says. It is twitching. Uncontrollable twitching is happening. Sometimes it is happening every half an hour, 15 minutes. Twitching is happening. So it's pulling. So Prabhupada is saying all these things. Sunday came and there was a large program arranged by his disciples in Uptown Town Hall meeting in New York. Uptown means where wealthy people live, in a very prominent town hall. They had arranged a large program. But that day morning, Prabhupada was lying on his bed. His face was looking very pale. He never came down. So Achyutananda and Kirtananda went and checked up with Prabhupada. Prabhupada was in no condition to go. So Prabhupada said, you all go. Leave Achyutananda with me. and he will give me massages and he will take care. And you all go. So everybody went for that program. First time Prabhupada missed that program, did not go. And Achyutananda was with him, and Prabhupada said, rub my heart vigorously. So Achyutananda was rubbing Srila Prabhupada's heart area. As he massaged, some color was coming back into the face of Prabhupada. And then Achyutananda is such a young boy, and here is his spiritual master. He's so old, he's confused. He's just sitting there. And Prabhupada said, why are you idle? So what did he say next? Chant Hare Krishna. Why are you idle? We will think, oh, Prabhupada is sick. He wants him to do something, something, something. Not like that. Prabhupada says, chant Hare Krishna. That means we all should think about it. Why are you sitting idle? Chant Hare Krishna. So we should never be idle. We should be chanting Hare Krishna all the time. This is a message for us. So not that you have to, there is a, they say there is a Buddhist saying, I don't know, some of you might have heard it. There is a Buddhist saying, don't just do something, stand there, or something like that. Usually we say to people, why are you just standing there? Do something. And the Buddhist saying is, don't just do something, be there. Just be there. Like that. Our quotation as far as ISKCON is concerned, don't be idle. Whatever you are doing means you are idling only. Chant Hare Krishna. That is the message. So this is a scene from San Francisco. As Prabhupada fell sick, they chanted for 14 hours continuously from evening to morning. Right through the morning program, they chanted for 14 hours. So this was a memorable event that happened in San Francisco. We will come to that now. So 2 days after this incident, Brahmananda and Kirtanananda were in the room of Srila Prabhupada, and Prabhupada's body started twitching, suddenly twitching, and his eyes were rolling up, going up. And suddenly the body of Prabhupada was thrown back, and he said, Hare Krishna. And he fell, and Kirtanananda caught hold of him. And there was no sign of life. With Hare Krishna, the body fell back. And no sign for 30 seconds, nothing happened. And suddenly, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Breathing came back along with Hare Krishna. So the breathing went with Hare Krishna, breathing came back after 30 seconds with Hare Krishna. Brahmananda and Kirtanananda were watching this. And Prabhupada's left side of the body was completely paralyzed. He could not sit up. He was moaning. Nothing could be done. So Prabhupada wanted, bring my Guru Maharaj picture. So it was brought and pasted on the wall so that Prabhupada could continuously see. And then Prabhupada told the devotees, pray to Narasimhadev. So Prabhupada gave the Narasimhadev prayers, Namaste Narasimhaya, he dictated, and they wrote down. And they made copies, and it was distributed to the devotees. And they asked what they should pray. So Prabhupada said, our spiritual master has not finished his work. Please let him live. That is the prayer. Our spiritual master has not yet completed his work. So please let him live. So there is a prayer. And this message went to all the devotees. And all night, the devotees are massaging Srila Prabhupada. Imagine his hands, his legs, his chest, his head. As Prabhupada dictated, they were massaging by turns, and they were feeling much more intimacy. So in a way, it is a pastime. Prabhupada is bringing his devotees closer and closer to him. That is the ultimate purpose. If you become close to your spiritual master and you please him, Krishna is pleased with you. Yasya prasadat bhagavat prasad. Yasya aprasadat nagadi kutopi. If Guru is pleased with you, if you got your Guru's mercy, your spiritual life is success. But if you don't please your Guru, if you displease him, then what benefit you will get? Ever gone, everything. So here, Prabhupada so compassionately, kindly bringing his devotees close to himself. All night Kirtan was recommended in New York as well as in San Francisco. Some of the New York devotees, because they are running between the hospital and the temple, at some point of time after midnight, they fell asleep. But later on, they got the report from San Francisco. In the meantime, something else is happening. They had to call the doctor. No doctor was coming. Ultimately, one emergency doctor came. He was totally useless. He said, Just after seeing Prabhupada and the hippies, he said he's just having an influenza, give him some medicine like that, he told, and give me my fees. He took his fees and walked away. Then they called another doctor. This doctor came and said, looks like he has had a mild heart attack and he needs hospitalization. So they finally took him to a private hospital. They called an ambulance. Ambulance was called in the morning. It arrived in the afternoon. And the ambulance workers, they were so rough. They picked up Prabhupada like a cloth bag and they threw him into the van. And Brahmananda's heart, was breaking. He thought, might as well have taken him in a cab. The way these people are treating roughly. So they took him to the hospital. They admitted him in the bed. And only Kirtanananda was allowed to stay in the hospital by Prabhupada's side. All other devotees had to return to the temple and they were told, go on Kirtan, all night Kirtan. So all the others returned to the temple. Kirtanananda from the temple, he called San Francisco and he told the entire thing, how in front of his eyes, Prabhupada said, Hare Krishna, and his body fell down. And for 30 seconds, he was practically gone. And how breathing again came back with Hare Krishna. And he said, devotees must pray sincerely. This is what Prabhupada has asked. Everyone should pray. And Krishna can return his life. This is the prayer. So Narasimha prayers, what distributed by Jadurani, it was also sent to San Francisco. And the message spread everywhere in San Francisco. There was so much grief, so much crying, huge stream of visitors was coming. Many of them belonging to other religions. They also brought their rosaries and they were chanting for Prabhupada. And in the temple hall was filled with devotees and visitors. Kirtan was going on, chanting was going on, dancing was going on all night. And Haigriva Prabhu says, sometimes he was feeling sleepy. He avoided sitting near the wall because if I sit near the wall, I know I will sleep. So he would sit in the middle and he would be playing sometimes harmonium, sometimes mridanga, sometimes karatal, changing the instrument just so that he will not fall asleep. He is chanting the holy name. His mind is going back to Prabhupada. How is Prabhupada? His memory is going back to, again, he's bringing it back to the Mahamantra. Chanting, 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 chanting. Everybody around there chanting, sending the healing energy to Prabhupada, praying to Krishna, praying to Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, praying to Jagannath. Right in front of them, Jagannath, Baladev, Subhadra are sitting and watching with their big eyes. They have put on the psychedelic lights also, and Jagannath is looking at all of them. In the completely transcendental, powerful mood, they were chanting all night. And Haigriva Prabhu says it was an unforgettable night of 14 continuous hours of chanting. They felt completely purified, and they also felt a hope in their heart that our Guru Maharaj will live. When it was morning, dawn, they felt Guru Maharaj will live like that. Again, see this picture. Prabhupada is playing vigorously the mridanga. His eyes are closed in complete concentration, vigorously. So all these things, the disciples never suspected that our Guru can also fall ill. Now back to New York. All night Prabhupada is having heart pain. And remember, this is at least the third heart attack, if not the fourth. In the ship only, Prabhupada had suffered minimum 2 heart attacks. Whether it was 2 or 3, we don't know. But at least 2, Prabhupada said. And this is, in that case, it is the third heart attack. Prabhupada. Continuous pain he is suffering. Next day was very critical. The doctors in the hospital are coming and seeing, doing some tests, putting some injunctions. They are looking very unreliable. They are speculating what could be the sickness. They are testing, they are experimenting. But Srila Prabhupada made his own diagnosis. What was that? It was a heart attack. And because of that, blood supply to the brain has been halted in some part. And that is why his left side is not functioning. Because of blood supply. Prabhupada is a doctor. So Prabhupada said, the cure is only massage. Go on massaging. So all the disciples, the boys, were massaging in 4-hour shifts. For 4 hours, one boy, another boy, another boy, another boy. Wherever Prabhupada says massage, massage, massage. And Prabhupada was so happy to hear that in San Francisco, all night they were chanting. So Prabhupada is lying in the hospital. He's still very weak. Suddenly the doctors came and said, we want to do a spinal tap. Someone told me spinal tap means they will take some cerebrospinal fluid out from the spine. They brought a huge injection. Kirtananda Prabhu could not protest. Prabhupada was not in a position to protest. So all the disciples were out and something happened and they all walked in to the room. After the procedure was done, they asked Prabhupada, did it pain you? Prabhupada said, we are Vaishnavas. We tolerate like that. The doctors were treating Prabhupada's body like their own property. Here was an old man with heart trouble, and he is a subject for their investigation. But for devotees, it was their spiritual master, their only hope for spiritual advancement. Mr. Price was a big challenge, but there was only money involved. But here, there is a bigger challenge because it is their whole spiritual life is at stake. So there is a difference between the approach of the hospital and the devotees. Prabhupada suddenly said, I want to be seen by Ayurvedic doctors. These doctors are not good. I want to see Ayurvedic doctors. So Prabhupada dictated a letter through his disciples to Krishna Pandit. If you remember, Krishna Pandit was the temple where Prabhupada is staying, Chippiwada in Delhi. So he's the manager, he's maintaining the temple. So he wrote to him, explaining his condition. I have a headache, and the headache is very severe, and my heart is throbbing. There is some sensation between my heart and my stomach. And when I massage my left hand, I feel some disturbance in my heart. And my heart is massaged, I feel some disturbance in my left hand. And my left hand is not functioning independently. He wrote all these things. He said, please send me some good Ayurvedic medicine. So 2 days after, there was some improvement in the condition of Prabhupada, but his face was still looking grave, never a smile, and the pain was persisting. Doctors are very impersonal. Prabhupada is trying to preach to them, but they are not listening. They say, you have your philosophy, I have my philosophy. Nobody interested. Prabhupada said, if Krishna wants to kill, who can save? And if Krishna wants to save, who can kill? So doctors are coming and doing routine checkups. The nurse comes. When she goes out, she slams the door. They tell her, please don't do it. But again and again, she's slamming the door like that. And Prabhupada took some prasadam from the temple and some vegetable items from hospital menu. He offered it to Narsingadev and then he took it. Jadurani brought some fruits. Prabhupada was not interested in any other fruit, orange, apple, everything. But when she said watermelon, Prabhupada's eyes widened. Oh, watermelon, like that. Massage is continuing. Prabhupada is hardly sleeping, but he's also not talking. Massage is continuing only when he's sleeping, massage stops. Gradually, miraculously, the left side paralysis went away. He regained function of his left arm. Again, look the picture of Prabhupada. Is he look like anyone who is old and could be sick and weak? So these pictures, I put it here so that we can meditate on how strong and powerful Prabhupada was in America. But then this was a pastime. And Purushottama says, when he was massaging Prabhupada, he sang Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu. And Prabhupada became very happy. He could notice, not with the massage, but more with the singing. Prabhupada was happy. So as Prabhupada started recovering, devotees are asking more and more questions. What does it mean, lotus feet? Why Krishna's feet are described as lotus feet? Then Prabhupada explained this Bhagavatam Shlokam, Padam Padam Yad Vipadam. That means one who accepts Krishna's lotus feet, for that person, the entire material universe of birth and death, this ocean, becomes like water contained in the hoof print of a calf. So like that, Prabhupada explains, Padam Padam Yad Vipadam. This world, material world, for other people, every step is danger. For one who has forgotten Krishna, there is danger at every step. But for a devotee, by the mercy of the Lord, everything becomes like water contained in a hoof print of a calf. Then everybody understood, okay, lotus feet of the Lord. Someone asked, some people say that God has no name. Prabhupada says, God is everything. This material world is everything is God. So every name is also Krishna's name. So how can you say God has no name? Rather, all names are God's names only. Then Prabhupada asked each of the disciples, what is your name? So they gave, my name is Paul. What is the meaning of Paul? Small. So Prabhupada said, Krishna is smallest of the smallest. Then someone said, my name is Stephen. What is the meaning of Stephen? Crown. Oh, Krishna is the king of the world. Like that, Prabhupada explained, all the names are also Krishna's names. So they had a nice pastime like that. So most of the time, Prabhupada was silent. One evening, Prabhupada said, I don't know Krishna. He was speaking to himself. I don't know Krishna, but I know my Guru Maharaj. So this is very, very important for us. For us also, we cannot know Krishna. Even though we are reading Bhagavatam, we are reading Bhagavad Gita, we are reading Acharya's lectures and books and so many things. But I know my Guru Maharaj. This is what is important. We connect Krishna through Guru, only through Parampara. So we should become very serious in gaining our Guru, taking his Diksha, and becoming sincere, loyal, loving, caring for our Guru Maharaj. And through him, Krishna will shower his mercy on us. So Prabhupada says, I don't know Krishna, but I know my Guru Maharaj. And then Brahmananda came, temple president. He gave the report of temple finances. In between, he stopped and he asked Prabhupada, Prabhupada, should I disturb you with all these details? Prabhupada said, if you can manage everything, I need not know the details. Then one nurse came and she asked, what is the name of the highest caste in India? What did Prabhupada reply? Any guess? What would be Prabhupada's reply? Name of the highest caste in India?
Nama Japa.
Sorry?
Krishna consciousness.
Prabhupada said, Krishna conscious. That is the highest caste. So to which caste do we belong? As long as we become Krishna conscious, we belong to the highest caste. There is no reason to ask, what is your caste? What is your caste? Are you Krishna conscious or not? Krishna conscious means devotees became so thrilled at this answer. Spontaneously, Prabhupada gave this answer. And then letters came from San Francisco disciples that they did all-night kirtan and they were wishing that the Guru should become all right. Srila Prabhupada simply replied, yeah, all of you prayed, and Krishna said, all right, let him live, because so many devotees are praying for him. Let him continue to do his nonsense. Like that, Prabhupada told. Mukunda Maharaj, he again wrote a letter saying, Prabhupada, please come. We are planning to hold the Rath Yatra, like that he was telling. And Srila Prabhupada replied to him also, saying that, yes, as soon as you are ready, as soon as my health permits, I will come back and we will continue our program in San Francisco. So till now, Prabhupada is still in the hospital. He is in the custody of the doctors. Prabhupada wants to leave. Prabhupada wants to get some Ayurvedic attention. Now we will see in the next week what happens from this point onwards. So our